You're 28 years old, making $65,000 a year, and you've got exactly $3,247 in your savings account. You've been trying to save money for 3 years now, but somehow every month there's a car repair, a friend's wedding, or just life. And you're starting to wonder if you're ever actually going to build wealth, or if you're just going to be one of those people who talks about investing but never actually does it. Sound familiar? My name is Allan, and I spend way too much time thinking about why the first $100,000 is absolutely brutal to accumulate. If you're someone who feels like you're spinning your wheels financially, watching everyone else seem to magically build wealth while you're stuck in the same spot year after year, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Here's the thing that nobody wants to tell you about your first 100 grand. It's not just hard because of the math, although the math is working against you. It's not just hard because of your income, although that's part of it. The first 100,000 is brutal because of psychology. And once you understand what's actually happening in your brain when you try to save money, everything starts to make sense. Now look, I'm going to show you some numbers in a minute that are going to make you want to throw your phone across the room. But stick with me, because buried in these numbers is the exact roadmap that's going to get you out of this financial quicksand you're stuck in. Let's start with why your brain is sabotaging you. There's this thing called the progress principle that Harvard researchers discovered, and it explains why you keep giving up on your savings goals. Your brain needs to see meaningful progress to stay motivated, but here's what most people don't realize. When you're trying to save your first 100,000, the progress feels invisible for years. Think about it this way. If you save $500 a month, which is already more than most Americans can manage, you're looking at 16 and a half years to hit $100,000 without any investment returns. 16 years. Your brain looks at that timeline and basically says, nah, I'm out. This is why people give up after 6 months and blow their savings on a vacation to Miami. But it gets worse, because you're not just fighting time, you're fighting compound interest working in reverse. While you're trying to build wealth, inflation is eating away at your purchasing power at about 3% per year. So that $500 you saved last January, it's worth about $485 in today's buying power. Your money is literally shrinking while you're trying to grow it. Here's where it gets really interesting though. Let's say you do everything right. You cut your expenses, you automate your savings, you invest in a diversified portfolio that averages 7% annual returns. Even then, your first $25,000 only generates about $1,750 per year in investment gains. That's $145 a month. You probably spend more than that on coffee and lunch. This is why financial advisors always talk about paying yourself first, but they never explain the psychological brutality of what they're asking you to do. They're asking you to sacrifice immediate gratification for gains that are literally invisible for the first 5 years of your journey. Now, you might be thinking, this is depressing. Are you just here to crush my dreams? And the answer is no. I'm here to tell you the truth so you can stop fighting the wrong battle. See, most people approach building their first 100,000 like it's a marathon, but it's actually more like climbing a mountain. The first 80% of the climb is brutal. You're exhausted, you can barely see any progress, and you want to quit every day. But then something magical happens. You hit this inflection point where momentum takes over, and suddenly you're not pushing the boulder uphill anymore, you're riding it downhill. Here's the math that changes everything. Your first $100,000 might take you 8 to 10 years to accumulate, but your second $100,000, with compound interest working in your favor, that takes about 4 to 5 years. Your third 100,000, 3 years. Your fourth, 2.5 years. Warren Buffett, who's worth over $100 billion, didn't become a millionaire until he was 30 years old. But here's the crazy part. He accumulated his first million in the 1960s when $1 million had the purchasing power of about $8 million today. Even Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of all time, struggled with that first inflection point. This is where most financial advice completely misses the mark. Everyone tells you to start investing early, and time in the market beats timing the market, which is true, but they don't tell you how to survive the psychological warfare of those first few years when your account balance is moving like molasses. Here's what most people don't realize. The biggest enemy of your first 100,000 isn't market crashes or inflation or even your income. It's lifestyle inflation. Every time you get a raise, every time you pay off a debt, every time you have a little extra breathing room, your brain immediately adjusts your lifestyle upward to consume that extra money. There's this thing called the hedonic treadmill, where humans have this incredible ability to adapt to positive changes and return to their baseline level of happiness. You get a $10,000 raise, you're excited for about 2 months, and then suddenly that extra $833 per month just disappears into slightly better groceries, a nicer apartment, more frequent dinners out. This is why people making $35,000 a year and people making $135,000 a year often have the exact same amount in savings. The higher earner just has more expensive problems. Now look, I'm not saying you should live like a monk and eat ramen noodles for a decade, but I am saying you need to understand that building wealth is fundamentally about creating a gap between what you earn and what you spend, and your brain is biologically wired to close that gap as fast as possible. Here's the strategy that actually works, and it's based on tricking your own psychology. Instead of trying to save more money, you need to make it impossible to spend the money you're saving. The research on this is crystal clear. People who automate their investments save 3.5 times more money than people who rely on willpower. But here's the twist. You don't just automate a transfer to your savings account because savings accounts are too easy to access when you want to buy something stupid. You automate investments into retirement accounts and taxable brokerage accounts that have just enough friction to make you think twice before touching the money. Let me give you the exact numbers that will get you to $100,000 in under 8 years. If you can invest $1,000 per month in a diversified portfolio that averages 7% annual returns, you'll hit $100,000 in about 7 years and 4 months. If you can only manage $750 per month, you're looking at about 8.5 years. If you can swing $1,250 per month, you'll get there in 6.5 years. Now you might be thinking, I can barely save $200 a month. Where am I supposed to find an extra $800? And that's exactly the wrong question. The right question is, how can I increase the gap between what I earn and what I spend by $800 per month? This is where it gets interesting, because there are only 3 ways to create that gap: earn more money, spend less money, or some combination of both. But here's what the data shows. People who focus primarily on earning more money accumulate wealth faster than people who focus primarily on cutting expenses. Why? Because cutting expenses has a ceiling. You can only cut your housing costs so much. You can only eat so cheaply. You can only drive such an old car. But your earning potential is theoretically unlimited. A study by the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis found that people who increased their income by 50% over a 5-year period accumulated wealth 4.2 times faster than people who decreased their expenses by 20%. Here's the action plan that actually works. First, you need to audit your current situation without judgment. Take your last 3 months of expenses and categorize every dollar. Not to shame yourself, but to understand where your money is actually going. Most people are shocked to discover they're spending $400 a month on subscriptions and convenience purchases they don't even remember signing up for. Second, you need to build what I call a wealth firewall. This is automatic transfers that happen on the same day you get paid before you have a chance to spend the money. Start with whatever you can afford, even if it's just $100 a month. The goal isn't to be perfect immediately. The goal is to build the system that will scale up as your income grows. Third, you need to focus aggressively on increasing your income. This means having uncomfortable conversations with your boss about raises and promotions. It means developing skills that are actually valuable in the marketplace, not just skills that make you feel productive. It means potentially switching jobs every 2 to 3 years during your 20s and 30s, when job switching typically results in 10% to 20% salary increases. Here's the psychology hack that changes everything. Instead of thinking about building wealth as giving up things you want, start thinking about it as buying your freedom. Every dollar you invest is buying you time and options in the future. At a 4% withdrawal rate, every $25,000 you accumulate buys you $1,000 per year of passive income forever. This reframes the entire game. You're not sacrificing, you're purchasing. You're not giving up that $1,000 $1,500 vacation, you're choosing to buy $60 per year of passive income for the rest of your life. When you think about it that way, suddenly the math gets really interesting. But here's what nobody talks about: the exact moment when everything changes. It's not when you hit $100,000. It's usually somewhere around $60,000 to $75,000. When you start seeing your investment gains exceed your monthly contributions. That's when your money starts working harder than you do. And suddenly wealth building stops feeling like pushing a boulder uphill and starts feeling like riding a rocket ship. The brutal truth about the first 100,000 is that it's designed to eliminate people who aren't serious. It's a filter. It separates people who want to build wealth from people who are actually willing to build wealth. And once you get through that filter, once you prove to yourself and the mathematics of compound interest that you're serious, everything accelerates. Your second 100,000 will shock you with how fast it accumulates. Your third 100,000 will happen so quickly you'll wonder if there was a mistake in your account. By the time you're building wealth in the millions, the money compounds so fast it's almost boring. But you have to survive those first brutal years when progress feels invisible and your brain is screaming at you to quit. You have to understand that this is exactly how it's supposed to feel. The difficulty isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. It's what creates scarcity and makes wealth valuable. The people around you who seem to magically build wealth aren't special. They're not smarter than you, they don't have secret information, and they're not immune to the psychological challenges you're facing. They just understand that building wealth is like compound interest itself. It starts slowly, almost imperceptibly, but if you stick with it long enough, the results become absolutely massive. So here's your homework. Stop trying to time the market. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to start. Open a brokerage account this week. Set up automatic transfers. Start with whatever you can afford, even if it feels pathetically small. Because the brutal truth about building wealth is that time is more valuable than timing. Consistency is more valuable than perfection. And starting is more valuable than waiting for conditions to be ideal. Your future self, the one who's financially free, the one who can take calculated risks, the one who sleeps well at night because money isn't a constant source of stress, that person is on the other side of this first $100,000. And the only way to get there is to start climbing.